Yo crew, it's me, it's Nomey, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use the Rekordbox DJ app to get your sets sorted, organized, and to learn the basic principles of DJing. So make sure you stick around because we've got it all coming up. If you haven't seen my last video of why you should be using the Rekordbox app, make sure you head over and watch that video, come back, but let's get straight into it. Okay then, to get started, if you haven't already got Rekordbox downloaded, head over to the description. There's a download link for the Google Play Store and iOS devices, so get that downloaded and then come back to this video. Okay then, so to get started, if you're a DJ and you already understand the basic principles of DJing, skip to this timestamp as I'm going to show you some ways that you can use this to better your sets and to organize your entire library on the fly. Okay then crew, so when you finally downloaded Rekordbox, you will have a interface that looks like this. This is on a iOS device. If it's on Android, it may look slightly different, but everything else will be exactly the same. One of the things that I recommend doing straight off the bat is clicking this Rekordbox button at the top of the screen, located in the middle. Once we get to that, we have this function that says light mode. We want to disable that as we are going to get really into the nitty-gritty of how this thing works. Cool, so now the view looks a little something like this. As a quick disclaimer before we get started, when a membership icon pops up, this is the free version, so click the little X that is located at the top left hand corner of the screen and this is what you'll be presented with. You do not have to pay, it's free. Okay, back to the video. We've got two tracks located at the top when the device is turned horizontal, which mine is, and these seem to be Loopmaster demo tracks and one called Loopmaster by Softwax, which is funny enough. We have these two icons at the left and right side, and this is where we can choose our tracks. With the Rekordbox app, it links directly to Beatport, so we can basically play any track on here. So let's see if we've got one of my tracks on here. Let's put Nomey in. Cool, yeah, here we are. So this is Nomey, and yeah, let's play On Your Feet. So with the free version of Rekordbox, it allows you to play a track for up to 2 minutes long. So that is one of the limitations of the free version, but nevertheless, it's got the entire library of Beatport on there. I've literally just pulled up one of my own tracks here, and so I don't get done for copywriting myself, we're going to play these tracks really short and sweet. So that is the first thing that we need to know how to do, how to find our tracks, and that's by using this search bar here. And then the other features that we have the platters. So these are what would be seen on 12-inch vinyl, on vinyl players. And what we can do is we can spin this forward and backwards. The next things we need to look at is the BPM. So my track, what it says on this box here is that my track is at 128 beats per minute, which is absolutely correct. I made this track at 128 beats per minute. And the next function is a function that DJs will have a big amount of controversy over. This is the sync button, and what the sync button allows you to do is to mix these two tracks seamlessly without even having to align them on the beats. But hang around, we'll get onto that later. So that is the second button that we have there. This next button is our hot cues, auto loops, and beat jump pads. So what a hot cue allows us to do is to jump to a section in our track of where we place this hot cue. For example, I'm going to go down to the breakdown section of this track. So I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to put A as the hot cue there. So when I press the A function, we can go back to that point into the time and we can start the track from there. So that's what the hot cues allow us to do. So what the auto loop function will allow me to do is to loop the track using these time grids that are placed on the auto loop boxes. So for example, this is going to be a 1 beat auto loop. So if I press play, that gives us a 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can go down to half, quarter, back up to 2. So that's what the auto loop allows us to do. We can set points of when we want the track to loop over. And I'll get more into this function later on because it's a bit more for the advanced DJs, but nevertheless we'll keep moving on anyways. So the next thing is the effects. Every DJ needs some effects, and this is what effects we get within the Rekordbox app. So we get a half beat roll, a sweep, flanger, V-break, R echo, reverb, echo and another echo, which is 2 different timings. So we get a quarter echo and then we get a half beat echo. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through all the effects, but basically these are really creative. In some future videos, I'm gonna put out how you can use these to better your set. So this is a good point to press that subscribe button if you already haven't. Moving straight on, we've got the beat effects where we can toggle the effect on using this dry wet slider. This is what this is called. This is our dry wet. So when we're at full 100% wet signal of our echo, which is currently on 1 beat, and this drop down menu here allows us to change it. So if we want to do a half beat, it would sound a little something like this. So that's what that allows us to do. And then if we want to change the effects, we've got reverb, and because we are on the free version, we are limited to only a flanger, echo and reverb. But to be honest, for this app and everything that it's got, that is enough. When I started DJing on these softwares, it was so basic. So if we're going to do the reverb, it'll sound a little something like this. That gives a nice washout effect. And then the last one that we have is slip. Okay, so we need to subscribe to use slip, but that's fine because we've got, and there we go, these are the pricing. So weekly it's $2.99, $6.99, and then $49.99 for the year. I'm in the UK, so this is in Great British Pounds, and I'm not sure what the pricing will be depending on your region, but that's how that works. And as we can see, this is exactly mirrored on the right hand side. We've got the track and the artwork, our BPMs, we've got this sync button, we've got the pads of the hot cue, auto loop and beat jump, and then our effects section. Oh, I forgot to mention the release effects, but yeah, it's a release effect as the name states, so that would sound like this. So yeah, we can get really creative and like just mess around with that. So that's pretty fun. Okay, and then moving down, we've got the play button, of course, which stops and starts the track. And then this next function, which is very important, cue. Okay, so this is on all controllers, all professional DJ equipment. So the cue button is universally known, and this is a very important one. What the cue button allows us to do is to set a point in the track of where we can cue the track in, i.e. where we can start the track from. So currently by default, the cue point is set at the start of the track. So as we can see at the top left where it says on your feet next to my track, the cue point is set at the beginning of the track. So if we press play, let me just turn this down by using the slider. So if I press this cue button while the track is playing, it's going to go straight back to the beginning. So there we go, we're back to the beginning of the track, right to the beginning. And that is going to be helpful to help us find the start point of where we want to cue the track in, where we want to begin our point of mixing it with the next track. So for example, if I want to set the cue point at this breakdown section, right next to our hot cue A, I could press cue there, and that allows us to cue it there. So we can count the beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how we cue. Now, to get your cue correct on a controller, and I'm sure it's going to be the same on this app. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm sure it's going to work. What we can do is once we've got the part of the track, once we begin mixing 2 tracks together, we can press and hold the cue button and then press the play button. And that allows the track to keep going, so we can keep our tracks in sync, i.e. mixed together. Okay, so now let's get into it. Let's get onto the DJing side of things. Let's go. Let's do this. Cool. So now let's choose another track. Let's choose another one by myself. Okay. Let's choose only one. Let's do that. Cool. So yeah, if you're into house and tech house and you need some free tracks to get started in DJing, head over to my SoundCloud. 90% of my tracks on there are available as a free download. And guess what? I'm really going to help you guys out for sticking around in the video. If you drop a comment and a sub on this video, I'm going to send you them over for free. So just literally hit me up in the comment section and I'll get you niced up. And you won't be limited to 2 minutes as it is currently. Sweet. So what we understand now, when we have looked around this app and we understand how to choose our tracks, we can search using this function here. So we can find the Beatport Top 100. Got some stuff from Josh Baker, Hugo, and loads of other people, which is sweet. So how do we mix tracks? This is the next thing. How do we mix these 2 tracks in a way? To get started, as we've seen, that my only one track was in, I believe that is a bit fast. I believe that was 129 beats per minute. Let's just go back and check it. Yeah, so my only one track is at 129 beats per minute. But as we can see, it's automatically matched these BPMs because we have the sync function enabled. If we disable the sync function, which it currently isn't allowing me to do, can I please just undo the sync function? Let me know in the comments if there is a way to undo the sync function, because at the minute it's not letting me undo that. But anyways, for the beginners out there who are watching this video, the sync function is going to be your best friend to get started, so let's just keep that on. And even if this is a bit too advanced, we can head back to the light mode, and I think that will just be on as default. Yeah, we don't have any option to turn that on or off, so yeah, that's fun. Okay, so this is the start of my drop on my On Your Feet track. And what we are wanting to do is, at this exact point, we are wanting to start mixing my only one track in. So what we need to do is find the first beat of a phrase. A phrase is a musical segment of where we have new elements coming into the track or elements being taken out, i.e. an intro, a breakdown, a chorus, etc. I'm not going to go too much into the theory, but that is a basic understanding of what that is. And the way we can count this in house and dance music is by the kick drums. Usually if it's in 4/4, as in every boom 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 boom, every kick on a beat, then it's in 4/4. So we can use that to find our downbeat, the start of our phrase. So for example, on this only one track, oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, this is our crossfader. This allows us to choose the balance between the left and the right track. So currently we're on the left track. If I slide this across, we start to lose that volume. There are two more functions that I'm going to go over, which are these two buttons up here, but these are more effects, so I want to get into how we can actually get started DJing. So let's go back to it. So we can also use this playhead here to find the part in the track of where we want to start. So what I'm wanting to do is start my only one track where the bass comes in at the intro on the last drop of my track On Your Feet. So what I'm going to do is scrub through and find that, putting the crossfader back in the middle so I can hear what's going on. So right there is the drop of my On Your Feet. So what I can do is set a cue point, just so we can get things going and understand the principles. Let's set a cue point here. So if I can hold that down. Sweet, so then we've got that there ready to go. And then let's find the start point of my track Only One. So that's where the bass comes in right there. So I'm going to put a cue point there. Okay, sweet. So now I'm going to wind the track back, and if this track was just playing in its natural form, I've just gone on the decks, or I've just gone on the iPhone, for example, and I'm letting this track play, I know that I need to now start my only one track on the last drop of my On Your Feet track, so that the phrases are aligned, the beats are aligned, because what can happen is we can align the beats, but then we have a segment either come in, a musical segment come in or come out at the wrong time, and it will just feel unnatural. If you've heard any DJs performing at a festival, in a club, even on YouTube, you'll understand something doesn't feel quite right, and this is it. You need to check the phrase of the tracks. So let's pull back the On Your Feet track, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this play button on the right deck when the drop comes to mix in the only one track. So let's do that. Let's go. Okay, get ready. 2, 1, and press. So now, as we can see, these waveforms are really nicely lined up together. So we can see how fat and thin it goes at the same time. And what this is the bass and the high frequencies in the track. This is Rekordbox's new RGB mode, which is cool. We are using the free version, of course, so limitation. If you want to get this track, it is available on my SoundCloud for free, as a free download. So head over there and you won't have this problem what I just had where it cut off just then. But anyways, let's pull it back and let's do that again. Count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So now we're lined up, and now I'm going to move the crossfader across and start mixing in these tracks. Let's go. So there you go. That's as simple as it is using the sync function. We need to make sure that the numbers are identical, 129 beats per minute, 129 beats per minute. With the sync function enabled, that will do it for us. That's doing the heavy lifting, and all we need to do is just make sure our timing is correct. If Rekordbox has done its job correctly, you see these red markers, these identify the start of a new bar, I believe. Let's go back. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So every 4 bars we will see these markers, and these are here to help us out, so use them as a guide. Sometimes Rekordbox analyzes these incorrectly on the desktop version, so maybe they improved it on this, I don't know, but just be mindful that use your ears, people. The key at DJing, the art, is to use your ears, and even though we have this amazing technology, when things go wrong, we need to know how to fix it, and I'm going to show you all how to do that, so yeah, stick with me. But yeah, going on to the last few features of what we've got on this app, these 2 buttons at the top, and they are a sample. They look like samples to me. So going back to the on your feet track, we've got a horn. You want to put a horn in there, drop effects, nice, and a short clap snare, 909 clap. That is from a drum machine, so everybody who knows a bit about music production, you'll know what a TR-909 is. Okay, so you've skipped the timestamp, and these are the people that know how to DJ, know exactly what you're doing. You guys know your stuff. But anyways, the reason why this app is so good is because when we go to the libraries, we get all of the tracks that are available on Beatport. We are limited to 2 minutes, but any tracks that are currently published and released on a label or uploaded by the artist, we can listen to these tracks for free, up to 2 minutes long. So if I'm on the train, if I'm in the bus, if I'm in the car, and I need to find the tracks for my next gig, we have all these options. We have all these options here. We can go find some stuff from like big artists, Michael Bieber. Let's have a look. Yeah, all the tracks from Michael Bieber, and everything's on there. So this here is a game changer to find your tracks. You don't even need to be in the studio anymore, because one of the best ways that you can find music is on Beatport. If you want a video on how you can find tracks using other sites and other little secrets that I know of, let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video on it. And another thing is that if you connect your Rekordbox account to the mobile version, you can sync all your tracks that you have on your computer or from your phone to your computer and have it all ready in a playlist. So when you finally get back to the computer and you're ready to set up your set onto your USB, you have it all there and ready to go. So that wraps up this video. Let me know in the comment section what you thought, if this helped you out. If it didn't, any queries, put them down below. I'm here to help. I'm here to respond. I will try to respond to as many of you as possible. Let me know what videos you want me to make. One of the things that I've done throughout my career alongside my studies and obtaining my 10,000 plus hours in DJing and making music is watch a lot of video tutorials. One of the massive problems that I've encountered is falling down a rabbit hole of finding so many videos that conflict one another, irrelevant information, when it can just be so simple as pick up your device and get mixing. Understanding the basic principles are going to help you out so much further. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.